That way we'll go ahead and get started. All right, Spreaker fans, I'm on right now. Let's see. Let me type them up as well. On live right now. Call me at 240 685 685 1408. All right, guys. So tonight we got some things we got to get off of our mind right now. At least I do. It's been a crazy year. This has been a crazy year. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna start off with talking about my dad. I mean, I know I talked about him a lot this year, and he passed away on July 12th. The most devastating news I ever had in my life was that day, and I went to work. Matter of fact, I was on my way to work when I got the call. I was 3/4 of the way there, and Stemmy turned around, not wanting to go home and sulk and not wanting to go home and deal with it. I just manned up. I said, let me go ahead, do my shift, and get going. I figured all that out when I get home. When I got there, I talked to my coworkers. My wife came in later on, talked to her. They were like, why don't you go home? I said, I go home for what? So I can moan and sulk and be sad and be pitted. I couldn't do that. That wasn't the way my father rolled. Matter of fact, we had a long conversation about that about a year and a half earlier about him dying. And he said, just come see me when you need to see me. I think he would have wanted me to just go ahead and just do what I need to do and take care of my home front and then deal with the situation later on, which is exactly what I did. That was one of the toughest weeks of my life. That was the toughest week of my entire life. I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't like his death wasn't expected, but we didn't expect it to be this soon. But then again, my dad was 76 at the time of his death. So... And sometimes I don't think I either fully accepted it, which I may very well not have, or it's so painful I can't even, let it out when I want to let it out. I think maybe the Lord say, hey, you need to be strong for your family. Your family is not going to be able to handle it as well as you, and I want you to be the one to be the strongest one to deal with it. And that's what, in essence, happened. I had a long conversation. Well, I had a conversation with my church family after I came back, and thanked them, because I think if it wasn't for me going back to church and getting right with the Lord, or trying to get right with the Lord, that I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I really don't think I would have. But somehow or another, I did. But I know at some point I had to do it. I won't, as much as I'd like to discuss about what, I had no much options on it but to handle it. I'll say it like that. And I didn't have a problem doing what I needed to do. I had to do what I had to do. That's what men do. When there's something you need to deal with, that's what you do. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. You do what you gotta do, and you handle it. That's what you do. And as a man, I felt, this is what needed to be done. So I'm fine with that. But in the case of life, a lot of times you have to do that. You have to. Some things you're not going to want to have to challenge. And you will be challenged on things in your life. But that's what the game of life is. challenges. It's all about dealing with the things that are unexpected. This wasn't exactly unexpected, but the way it went down was. And I'm gonna tell you, it just it breaks my heart. Internally, I'm still grieving. A month and a half later, I truly am. Um, I think the best thing that happened right now was the fact that I was able to get out of town for a week. That was a good thing. I didn't do much drinking. I took a drive down to Virginia Beach. Went to they had the Funk Fest right there outside my hotel. Enjoyed every minute of it. I was up pretty much all week, the whole week I was down there. And I'm gonna tell you, those are the fastest 5 days that ever went through. Those days went by fast. There was a lot going on. Matter of fact, there was a lot going on in Virginia Beach the weekend I was down there. They had the conference about the first African slaves and the first African family of slaves. That was brought in to that area, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Portsmouth, uh, and a couple of and I give them a shout out. Afro Synergy was down there, and I think ABL, I think he was down there. Yeah, man, because he was in one of the conferences, and I wish I'd attended because it was on the week that I was down there. They were down there the 22nd and 23rd because Afro Synergy told me his name is Wes. That's all I know his name. I'm sorry, forgive me, brother. I'm just want to give you props. And it told me because he was part of a conference, and I wish I had known about it because I definitely would have went. I really would have went because I was down there the 2 or the 3 days they had. They were down there from the 21st to the 23rd, and I was down there the 22nd and 23rd. And I could have just did my live podcast from right out there. I wish I had known about it. If I had known he was down there, I definitely would have went. But this is YouTubers. As black YouTubers, we need to do a better job of communicating with each other. So when we are involved with stuff like that, we know where to go. So we can support each other. And for me, it's not about monetary. It's not. I'm doing this as labor of love. I've been doing this as labor of love for 10 years, 11 years. And I didn't really come in for it to do for monetary purposes, but if I know it was all about that at the time, 10 years ago, I probably would have. I'd have a much bigger audience, especially with the stuff I was doing, because I wasn't really doing. I was just doing mostly music and comedy stuff. When I started out early, then I stopped doing it for a while, and I started back about 2013. So, but I enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun, but it makes me more aware of my world. Make me want to talk about the things in my world that's not right in this world anymore. And but I have to talk about it because it's just too much mess going on. A number of us YouTubers actually got hit with what they call that thing, the community guidelines thing, where you are, excuse me, in violation. I got a warning already. I did a video first last month. It's titled "Racist Shootings Done by Younger White Extremists." Now, yeah, I did say that, and they are younger. I'm not saying that the older ones don't do it, but I know it's a number of the ones that's been happening. That's what's been going on, and this wasn't about hate, but they consider it hate speech. Now, it's not hate speech if you're calling out what's there. If you were saying, and if it was facts, it was black kid, which, and white people do it all the time on the news all the time. Black youths do this, black youths do that. They were talking about Trayvon Martin was a thug because he smoked weed. I had to get in the co-worker's ass about that one time. Yeah, I did. Um, it was a trip. Let me go ahead and get started with this. Hopefully you'll pick up. This is DJ Wolf Live. And gals, this is DJ Wolf Live with your host, with the most honest conversations, live from the Southern Maryland studios. This is DJ Wolf Live, and this is DJ Wolf Live Lit, because we go in there tonight. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yes. But anyway, I haven't figured it out yet. Something whack about this thing that I got right now where I'm playing the music, but it's not, it's not toning. It's not where you could, my levels, for some reason on my new board that I got, used to be able to fade it out. I'll work all the kinks out later. Anyway, it's been a lot of crazy stuff happening, man. But they don't want you, like I said, back to what I was saying, they don't want you talking about that. It's weird. It's really, 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 really weird to me. You can't talk about things, but the media can say what they want and tell you a bunch of lies about a lot of stuff. A lot of things about a lot of black people and misled. Matter of fact, there was one, the Harambe thing about the gorilla. They initially focused on the child being fell in the cage with the gorilla, and then the next thing you know, after the kid got rescued, they attacked the parents. What kind of parents were, when they found the parents black? Oh, what kind of parents will allow the kid to just fall in there? Blah blah blah. White people do it all the time. But you don't hear them attacking their character because of that. No. It had nothing to do with what happened to the kid. White parents had kids falling in damn things with lions and all kinds of animals all the time. But you don't hear them attacking the parents. Yet, I point out an observation of something I've seen of a pattern of we've seen these people going out doing these crazy mass killings, and all of a sudden you can't call out what you see. And they try to say, well, he had a bad childhood. He was mentally deranged. Okay, that could be a given, but it's more to it than that. I know it is. We know it is. Come on. So I'm not going to go much further than that. I'm going to just say what I said, and that's that. But it's true. All right. Not R. Kelly. I ain't going to talk about that. Is Jay-Z a sellout for what he did? Yeah, I'm going to say that. I never, and I'm not going to lie. Me and my son was just talking about that the other day about Jay-Z and Nas. And I'm going to tell you, Nas got a new joint out. It's so hot, it's not even funny. I forgot the name of the song. Forgive me, but Nas is back on top of his game again. He is. And I'm going to tell you right now, Nas is the GOAT. He is one of the greatest rappers of all time, as far as I'm concerned. He's better than Jay-Z. I never was really into Jay-Z's lyrics anyway. I never was into Jay-Z, period. I was never into his music. But him calling himself trying to be a forerunner in the civil rights fight and all that, he full of shit. Yeah, I said it. Because he is. It ain't genuine. This fight's not genuine anymore. Him and Kaepernick went out there and got paid. And then all of a sudden, everything just quilled off. Just like they do with Messi Jackson Al Sharpton. Same thing. No difference. Specifically Al Sharpton, because he does that too. You know, all these guys, man, come on. Y'all got bought. Y'all been bought. Y'all can be bought. Your fight for civil rights can be bought. That's been proven. Time and time again. You know, Kaepernick completely sold out. After you heard about him getting at that $9 or $10 million, which was, he was kind of lowballing himself anyway, he shut the fuck up. Jay-Z, pretty much the same thing. You know? Our so-called, you know, and matter of fact, my pastor today, no joke, my pastor brought up the same subject about not trusting in looking up to idol prophets. You know, not looking in your entertainers to believe in that they're going to save us, save the race. They're not. They ain't about that. They're just like everybody else. They want to get paid. And once they get paid, that's a wrap. Literally. You can't rely on those guys no more, man. You can't rely on them at all. You know what celebrities are going to be in it for? For the publicity, for the fame, for the cream. I got upset at one woman, matter of fact, it was Tamir Rice's mother, because she was claiming something about LeBron James wasn't doing enough, something that she said he wasn't doing. And I actually called this out about 4 years ago. I said, LeBron James don't have to do that. LeBron James, anything, didn't have to waste his time doing it that way, because he's not a civil rights person. He's an entertainer in the game of basketball. But our people want the sports athletes. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with them pointing out. But you want them to literally lead you to the fight? No. That's not their job. It's not. But our culture expects them to do it because they're black. Now, if they want to put money into this, that, and the other, that's one thing. But to sit there and expect them to lead you, no, that's another whole story. You ain't got no business asking them to do that. Period, as far as I'm concerned. You want to lead yourself. You know? The hell do you know a celebrity's going around asking that question for? Man, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy as hell. You know? You got an opinion on it, give me a call. 240-685-1408. That's 240-685-1408. But, you know, I said it's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It truly is. It's ridiculous. You know? And, woo! You know, people, y'all better wake up. Y'all seriously better wake up. What Samuel L. Jackson said, wake the up. You know? You're expecting celebrities to be the savior of the black race. Just like we expected Obama to be. But Obama was another story. Obama was getting that cream. Obama was the token black guy who was initially paid to come out to help out white people, which is what he did. He saved the banks. He saved the auto industry. But he ain't save us for shit. Excuse my French. He didn't. He clearly did not. I wish he had it, but he didn't. That's real talk. You know? It's a shame. You know? That a brother like him that coulda and shoulda and went to bat and didn't do it. He didn't do it. Clear as a bell, he didn't do it. Lord knows he didn't do it. He really didn't. That's a shame, man. Because honestly, I really did like the Obamas. I really did. But when I saw that movie, and there's no joke, when I saw that movie, what Fahrenheit 11/9, I was totally. I don't know. I don't know. It just bummed me out. It literally bummed me out. I didn't see Obama as the same guy he was when he came on board, man. He wasn't the same guy. And this is just before he was out of office. In Flint, Michigan. And he sat there and made and he was trivial about the situation in Flint. That's what shocked the hell out of me. He was totally trivial about it. And I'm like, this son of a bitch. Do you know what the people are going through in Flint, Michigan? Flint, Michigan being roughly 2 hours from Cleveland. My hometown. Where they're having issues right now. You know, among other things. And it's like, you don't care. These politicians today, man, or at least what I've seen the last 35 years, almost 40 years, I would never vote for politicians anymore. That's me. I would never vote for another politician because they all rot. Every one of them, from Obama to Nancy Pelosi to the Orange Crush dude, whatever the fuck his name is. Ain't none of them about shit. Man. Here's the other thing. Have you noticed the rich are getting a lot richer? And the poor are getting poorer? And the middle class are getting into the middle of the bind between the both because the middle class is paying the taxes that the rich aren't even paying are being taxed for. They don't. It's like, and I've talked to my wife about this too. It's like if you're making a certain amount of money, they don't want you to go. They want to be able to take more out. The more you make, especially if you're African American, it's like they want to take more out every year. I'm not kidding about that. I've seen that. It's a joke. I don't know what's going on with this country anymore, man. They had another mass shooting yesterday. And I'm like, what? And they had a couple of incidents out here in DMV or just recently in DC. What's going on, man? Where's the love, man? You know? I'm so thankful I went back to church, man. You know, I went back to church. I was so happy I was back in church. I thought about not going just for a second. I didn't even want to go. But then I thought about saying, I need to go. I need to go. Like next week, I'm going out to do some community service with the church. Next week in the community. We did that about 2 years ago. We're going to be doing, this is going to be a bigger push because we will actually be doing out there, working with the community, doing different charities with them. I'm looking forward to that. Then I'm going to go see a sick member after that. So I'm anxious about doing that because this is what God wants us to do. Be about the people. Be about the love, man. There's too much hate in this world going around. You know, my dad passed away from multiple myeloma. And that's a disease that cripples you, man, for the rest of your life. You know, at least especially if you're older. It really does. You know, younger you can manage it, but when you get older at a certain age, man, it's hard to fight it. And it's a terminal illness on top of that. But it's too much diseases out here. That's what the point I'm trying to make is there's too many diseases out here. It's too much stress out here with, dealing with work and all of that and all the stuff for you people to be hurting each other like this, man. Sometimes I sit up, and my wife attested this, I'll sit up in my bed at night, late night, just thinking about why life the way it is, man, anymore. Why kids can't go out there and play in the streets, and be themselves during the day, man. Why I have to worry about some old punks, man, going out there acting a damn fool over some old bullshit. Excuse my French, but that's the way I'm feeling tonight, man. I'm getting a little of my drink on what I'm talking about because I'm just tired of this, man. I'm absolutely tired of it. And it seems like the love is just going out the world anymore, man. When's the love gonna ever come back? And I ain't talking about being in love with, I'm talking about love for other people, man. I went through a similar situation, not with my family here, but my family elsewhere. And I felt the love just went out of that too, man. I'm still reeling behind that. I'm still in shock behind that. That's another whole story, but oh my God. We just gotta keep praying. We gotta go back to church, man. We really, honestly, the world need to go back and atone and get right. Because it's just too much mess out here anymore, man. It really is. And that goes for old and young, rich and poor, black and white, fat, skinny, straight or gay. It don't matter. We need to come together as a world and stop with all this infighting and bickering and man shooting and all this shit that's not needed today, man. It's not needed. We don't need this mess, man. We don't need it. We really don't. It's useless. It's unproductive. It's destructive. And it's downright sad, man. Some people need to stop being so fucking selfish and think about other people for a change besides the damn selves. And think about what it costs for people to have to deal with this shit. Now, I'm keeping it straight to y'all guys. I'm keeping it straight out here about this. Because that's the way I feel about it. I'm tired of it. I just heard it was an incident happened in D.C. Of a young girl got shot. Barely a teenager. And the way they talk, they said her back got her as a result of that, man. 13 years old. That's a damn shame. Just happened over the weekend. People hating you because of the color of your skin. And come up with the dumbest excuses. You can't barbecue. You can't walk past a white woman because a white woman assuming you try to touch her, or some old dumb shit like you're walking from a grocery store with a bag of Skittles and iced tea, and somebody gotta fuck with you when you mind your own goddamn business. Yeah, I said it. Sick of this, man. Or these medical companies, man, just have you take all that damn you know what I'm talking about, that you're in remission for cancer treatments and shit, and this shit don't fucking work. Sick of this shit. And shit's slowly killing you. At the same goddamn time. Sick of this shit. But we're supposed to be calm. Yeah. I'm trying to talk civil about it, man, but it seems like every time I talk civil about it, or you hear other people on YouTube talking civil about it, or some people in the media talk civil about it, everybody else wants to start some big bullshit. People don't believe about universal health care. I do. But you should be able to choose who you want to provide the service for you. You should have that right. But then you got these big wigs who are totally dead set against it, but they can afford it though. Fuck out of here. Education is at an all-time high. This is a true story. About 2-3 years ago, I was watching Fox News. I was at work. And this one bitch on Fox News, I'm telling you right, pissed me off. Pissed me off bad. This bitch had the nerve to say, this is no joke, and I quote, education is a privilege and not a right. Make that make sense, what she said, which don't make sense to me. I'm going to say it again. She actually said this on Fox News. I'll never forget it. She said, and I quote again, education is a privilege and not a right. That makes no goddamn sense to me whatsoever. I do not give a damn about that bullshit she said, because you know what? Everyone on this planet, I don't give a goddamn if you butt scratcher back into someplace else or wherever. Everyone has a right to a good basic education. Everyone. To sit there and say it's a privilege and not a right is criminal. You really want a bunch of dumb people out there with no education out here? No, you don't. I don't want to live in the world with a bunch of uneducated people. And when I say uneducated, I'm talking about people who don't have the basic, knowledge of anything. You don't want that. Everyone is entitled to a basic good education. A basic good and affordable education at that. You got people paying college debt for decades, man, and some maybe never pay it off because it's so goddamn expensive. Every child, black, white, pink, blue, or green stars, I don't give a fuck, have a right to a basic education. I don't give a fuck who they are. I'm sick of this, man. People come up with the stupidest excuses, and it's always the people who got the big bucks who tell you that bullshit because they want to keep you up under the thumb 24/7 because they think they're supposed to be way up here, you're supposed to be way down here. Fuck that. Fuck that. That's as bad as it was with slavery. Yeah, I said that too. Because guess what? At one point in this country, it was illegal. Illegal. By the law. To not only be able to not go to school, you weren't even supposed to be able to read and write as black folks in this country at one time. Illegally. That was considered illegal. Illegal. By the law. Yeah. It was illegal for you to travel because you were a slave without papers, like you was a dog or somebody's fucking property. No, they don't want you talking about this. I'm talking about it, goddammit. It needs to be addressed. Let me tell you a story about something. This tripped me out too. This happened about 3 weeks ago. I talked about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So I made a purchase. I actually got me a new car. Well, I say new, but used actually, pre-certified. But anyway, so get my car in the parking lot. White woman had, and I call her what do I call it? They parking porky patty or something like that. Parking lot patty or something. Parking lot porky or something like that. Anyway, parking lot patty. Well, I name it that. Parking lot patty had nerve to ask me. This is no joke. True story. She asked me, and I got the key fob for my car. So I unlocked the car. This bitch had no idea, is that my car? I go to my car with the key fob in my hand, and she gonna ask me, is that my car? Now me, because I like to be gainfully employed, I didn't say, well, bitch, what the fuck you think it is when I got a key fob in my fucking hand going to my car, opening my car door? Who fuck car you think it is? Not that was any business to you in the first place. But no, she said, is that your car? I said, yeah. Now, mind you, I saw her get to her car from a mile away before I even got to mine. I saw her. She looking right at me. So she must know when I drove in that morning, she had to see my car. And this is no joke. So she went across, and this was almost a mile away. So she gets in the car. We'll go towards the car. By the time I got there, maybe about 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, it was hot out there that day. It was a hot day. I remember that. She let her car run, or it looked like she was starting the car. Now, I don't even think she had started her car at the time. She probably was in the car, get ready to start. By the time I got to mine, and then when I pulled the key fob out, then she asked me, is that your car? I said, yeah. And she only had one word to say. Fancy. Oh, really? Well, I can't have a nice car. And mind you, my car is it ain't even a high run vehicle. To be honest, it's not. It's really not. It's not even. It's nowhere even near the top of the line. It's not even the top. It's not even a top brand car. If in terms of you talking about like Audi or something like that, it ain't even like that. It's not even in the league. Or Lamborghini. It's not even close. You know. But, and I've noticed, man, that even when I'm driving, you could tell white people, man, in them big old pickup trucks try to act like they trying to run up in your ass. The guy tried last week. I'm like, damn. You know, really? And I'm going just past the speed limit, not all the way like 20 miles past it. I'm going like maybe 5, 6 miles past the speed limit, and the guy still riding on my ass. I mean, very close. Still, I was like, what the fuck, man? Driving while black, being black while black, riding a plane while black, driving a car while black, going to the store while black, barbecuing while black. What the fuck, man? And don't think we ain't getting tired of this shit. We're fed up. You just don't know it. But YouTube gonna fucking tell y'all, we have policies where you have to watch what you say. Yeah. I have to watch what I say now. Not. You know, YouTube, I'm being honest about this too. The biggest content creators on YouTube that get the most views and get the most support are predominantly white YouTubers. And this is not hate speech. This is fact. I know that YouTube goes, this is hate speech because you said that white people do this. Well, it's true. Why is this only hate speech when we talk about it? Not when y'all do. Donald Trump been doing hate speech for the last, 4 or 5 years, several years, and talked all kind of mess about Obama. And yet, he still gets away with it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. We ain't supposed to talk about that, though. Yeah. This is crazy. You know, I just saw something on here on Twitter. It was posted by a fellow YouTuber. It says, Hasbro, the makers of all kinds of toys, some of my favorite toys, G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip, Transformers, and now Transformers own Death Row Records, believe it or not. I'm like, what the heck? Let me go look at this, man. It just got posted. Thanks to Professor Black Truth. Appreciate you. One of my favorite YouTube channels out that I watch. Support him. Okay. Came from the New York Post. Try to get it to load up. Slowly loading up. All right. According to this, it says, hey, this is crazy. Hasbro. it says Hasbro acquires gangster rap label Death Row Records as part of a $4 billion deal. And it says My Little Pony meets Tupac Shakur. Yeah, this is crazy. Toy maker Hasbro has acquired rap label Death Row Records, which counts Shakur and Snoop Dogg among its artists. No, they are among they were among the artists. Let's put it like that. As part of a bid to grow its stable of family-friendly entertainment. Huh? So the toy maker announced a $4 billion deal this past Thursday to buy British company Entertainment One. I've heard of them, which produces animated kids shows as Peppa Pig and PJ Masks, but also owns the rap label. You know what's going to happen. Let's see. Hasbro, which owns the rights to My Little Pony, Monopoly, and Mr. Tailhead, says the company was looking to expand family brands and television production with the purchase. So he got the British company at E1, which I never knew that was a British company. Entertainment One, rather. I've heard of them. As beloved story-led global family brands that deliver strong operating returns to Hasbro's portfolio and provides a pipeline of new brand creation driven by family-oriented storytelling, according to their CEO, Brian Goldner, in a statement. It said, although Hasbro was trying to get acquire more family-friendly programming, the toy maker ended up with Death Row Records, which was also a division of Entertainment One. That's how they got the acquisition. Purchased in 2000. Toy maker ended up with Death Row Records, purchased in 2013. Really? That's crazy. Death Row, which was founded in 91 by Suge Knight, the Doc, or DLC, and Dr. Dre was one of hip hop's most influential labels, signing some of the biggest names on the West Coast. Well, they actually had to build the biggest names in music, because not only was Snoop Dogg and Tupac Shakur was on the label, they also had Dr. Dre, and they also had Corrupt, and with Danny Boy, and MC Hammer was on it for a minute. Yeah. They filed for bankruptcy in 2006 after all those lawsuits and the lockup of Suge Knight. I said it changed hands several times over the years. Ended up with Entertainment One, which bought it for $280 million at the time. So now Hasbro, you know what's going to happen. Hasbro is going to probably push that division of Death Row out altogether and then revamp it. That's likely to happen. So, I tell you, they're taking over. They're taking over. Oh, one other thing I want to talk about before I get off here. The Paul Mooney thing. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm a big fan of Paul Mooney. I've been a big fan of his for a very, very long time. I don't know if he's straight or gay. Don't care. Not my business. Not my, it's not my business. Funny dude. He's been, quote unquote, accused of having molested Richard Pryor Jr., the son of the late famed comedian actor, Richard Pryor. And another comic, Red something, whoever he is, former bodyguard Richard Pryor, claimed that he validated it. Now, if you knew about all that validation shit, why the hell didn't you stop it when you knew what was going on? That's number one. That's why I said some bullshit behind it. Number two, why did Richard Pryor Jr. wait all these years to talk about it? Number three, Richard Pryor Jr. is gay. By his own admission. At least allegedly from what I heard. But I'm not gonna lie. Paul Mooney, I actually had suspected about that for years, but that's neither here nor there. Gay or not, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt, and witnesses, not witness, witnesses that actually occurred. That he actually been around Paul Mooney alone several times for that to be true. The rumor has it that this so-called bodyguard, I think he was a fellow comedian too, claimed that Pryor had put was going to put a hit out on Paul Mooney. Now, you know, Richard Pryor was heavily connected in Hollywood. Heavily connected for decades. If he actually was going to have that happen, it probably would have happened. That's why I somewhat don't believe it. But Paul Mooney might have had something on him too, because Richard Pryor had been known to have slept with homosexuals too. At least that's the rumor I heard. Considering his mom did work in the brothel on top of all of that. And I don't think he knew who his dad was. So. But it's probably a lot more to it than what we know. So JoJo Dancer, the movie that he released back in, I think, 81, 82, whenever it came out, was loosely based on his life. His early life, and his life in stand-up. If you watch it, a lot of it does mirror what happened to him. You know. Because there was a scene where he actually showed himself smoking that rock and catching on fire. That was all in the movie too, if you saw it. Great film. Probably one of the best films he ever did. At least in my opinion. But, like I said, Paul Mooney may have had something on Richard Pryor, which is probably the reason why that never went down, why he never came out and said that. But Paul Mooney, you kind of did suspect about him being a little sideways for a long time. I have. But don't mean that he actually was gay because he was, you know, he was a little sideways. I mean, well, I take that back. Doesn't mean that he actually committed the crime because he was a little sideways. Let's put it like that. Let me rephrase that. Like I say again, you have to have proof. You just can't sit there and say, yeah, you know, he's this and he's that and the other, and you ain't got proof about it. That's irresponsible. I mean, it truly is. It's truly irresponsible to call somebody that, and yet you don't have any real proof that actually went down. You know? That's all I'm saying. You know? But, there's a lot of crazy stuff, man. This is where I'll tell you, man. I just hope things get better in this world, man, because, you know, children we need to protect our kids, do a better job of protecting our kids, man. I'll say that. We need to do a better job of protecting our kids. We need to do a better job of raising our kids. You don't want to raise your kids the way your parents raised you. You want to do a better job. You know, I kind of felt in my case that I somewhat did, for the most part. It wasn't perfect. You know, I talked about my son. You know, I used to be a little hard on when he was younger. Honestly, and I admit to that, and I told him that, and I told my dad. I somewhat did apologize for that. I didn't feel like I had to give him a full apology because I felt I was being a parent. But I apologize for being as hard as I was because I want him to stay right. You know? And I felt as an adult, I had to apologize to him because I want him to know, hey, it was nothing really personal. Well, it kind of was, but not really. But it really wasn't nothing personal. It was just me trying to be a father, raise him, make sure, you know, keep him in line, you know? And he turned out to be pretty remarkable as a result of that. And I always hear these women talking, you can raise a boy to be as good as a man. No, you can't. No, you can't. I don't ever want to hear anybody telling me that no more. I'm tired of hearing that mess about women telling me they can raise a boy to be a man as good as a man. Hell no. You know why? You're not a man. You don't have the personal experience that the man has of raising boys, or, you know, or being able to guide boys the way they need to be guided by men, not women. Now, I know somebody personally like that right now. Okay, being guided by a woman, and his father was around, but his father did not guide him the way he was supposed to, and now he's all messed up. This I know for a fact. So don't tell me that that's not important. Don't tell me that you could raise a boy to be a man as good as a man. Ain't no woman on the planet can ever do it. I don't give a damn how many brothers she been around or whatever. I don't care. That's the problem today. You got all these single mothers believing, oh yeah, I could raise kids by myself. I don't need no man and blah, blah, blah. And look how they turn out. It speaks for itself. It speaks for itself, people. I'm not lying about this. I'm really not. You can read the headlines all the time. Am I lying? No, I'm not. Google it. Pull up the Washington Post. Pull up the New York Daily Post. Pull up the LA Times. Pull up the Chicago Sun. Pull up the Baltimore Sun. Pull up the Cleveland Plain Dealer. You ain't got to take my word for it. You can read it. You can watch them on the local news. You can watch them on national news. You can watch them on BBC. This goes on all the time. All the time. I saw I had somebody was watching my show just now. They might have said a chat on YouTube. I don't know what they said. I didn't get a chance to respond. I do apologize for that. Let's see if I can pull it up to see what they said. I guess I can't. But I mean, it's the way I feel anymore. You know, I'm like, people are wrong, man. It's just this world. I'll tell you right now, this world ain't living right. Ain't living right like it's supposed to. I wish it was. You know, it's not. Just a lot of stuff is just it's crap, man. Total crap. It truly is. I saw it was a comment. YouTuber looked like they commented. I guess they got off. I guess anyone here what to say. Yeah, maybe they made a comment and left. Anyway, that's the way I feel about it, guys. It's your world. And some more time to say, it's your world. You know, I'm just living it. But seriously, guys, we need to think about what's going on. And we need to think about ways that we could go about the right approach of making the world better for everybody. Especially for your babies and the future babies. And the future babies after that, man. Come on. I was at church today and one of the church members, we did the fellowship talk. So I talked to her and then she brought a little random. She was the cutest little thing. She's just sweet. You know, kids have that innocent quality about them that shows they are willing and ready to learn about the world and things around them. And you as a responsible person should be able to teach them the right things that they need to go about and guide them the way they need to be guided. So that not only will they not make the same mistakes that you made, but they'll be aware of what they need to do out here in this world. And the things they don't need to be doing. It's called being responsible. That's what we all need to get involved with. And pray more. And get back in the church, man. And get fellowship with your people, man. I'll be doing that next week. I'll give you a report on that on my next podcast. Next week, probably another live one next Saturday or Sunday. Next week I'm gonna be out and about. So, but I'll tell you all about that in another podcast. Probably my next live podcast will probably Sunday evening sometime or Monday next week. All right, guys. Well, I did my 1 hour. Just want to let you know how I feel about it. It's DJ Wolf. Y'all take care, man. I mean, so like I said again, I just had to give you my 2 cents on how I felt. And that's how I was feeling about it, guys. Real talk. Boy. Just pray for the world, man. That's all I'm saying about it. This is DJ Wolf.